born in Marshall County, right on the home farm. And my name is Roy A. Anderson. I was 21 years old, and of course it was the Korean War. And I was in from 1951 to 1953. And, my parents were farmers, and my father was Andrew, my mother was Ruth. Okay, I had 4 brothers and 4 sisters. In order would be Edna, Alice, Alvin, me, Elmer, Adolf, Francis, and Fern.
Did any of them serve in the military?
2 of my brothers, Alvin and Elmer.
Okay, and which branches were they in?
They were just in the Army.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you serve together?
No.
Okay.
We were in at the same time, but not close.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did your family think about you joining the service?
Oh, they were scared, of course.
Yeah.
Nervous.
Did you have any jobs before you entered the service?
Well, we were right on the farm, of course I did. I don't think yes, I maybe worked out. No, I don't think I worked out before. I just stayed on the farm. Mm-hmm. We had plenty to do, it seemed like.
What kind of farming was it?
It was small grain and cattle, and I guess sheep at one time.
Oh, interesting. Can you tell me about when you went into the military? Were you drafted or did you enlist?
I was drafted.
Okay.
Yeah.
What or who did you leave behind when you left to serve?
What did I leave behind?
Yeah.
My wife.
Mm-hmm.
And well, the farm.
Yeah.
And all my family. I got my orders for service the day after I was married.
What kind of emotions did you feel when you got that information?
You know, we weren't as outgoing as kids are nowadays, by any means. So, yeah, it was hard to leave the farm, and my wife especially. When I left, we'd been married about 6 months, I think, something like that.
What is your most vivid memory of your time training in boot camp?
Well, it was easy for me because I was young and strong, and I just put up with whatever we had to. And it was nothing, I mean, no big deal for me.
Okay, did you develop any friendships while you were there?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. What was the hardest part of training?
I don't know, it really didn't bother me, any of it. I guess maybe when we had to crawl through the mud and they were actually shooting live ammunition over us, so we had to keep our heads down.
Oh, and that was part of training?
That was part of training, yeah.
What was the hardest part of the military lifestyle for you to adapt to?
Well, I suppose lonesomeness.
What was your first assignment after basic training?
I was sent right to England.
Okay.
I think I was home for Christmas.
Okay.
And I didn't know where I was going to go, so I figured it'd be Korea, of course. But I got sent to England, and nothing to it.
What did you do while you were there?
I was a mechanic, and we were actually building an airstrip. So it was like going to work. That's about the way it was. So,
did you receive any specialized training while you were there?
well, I was a mechanic, and I learned a lot on my own, of course, on heavy equipment and stuff like that.
What was the easiest part of the lifestyle to adapt to, and what came easy for you?
Just putting up with all the orders they gave you, and it didn't bother me at all. So,
Do you have any specific memories from that experience?
well, we lived in tents, which would seem tough for anybody, but that went fine too. And I don't know.
What was the weather like when you lived in tents?
It was always kind of cool and rainy over there, but a beautiful country, clean country.
What kind of clothing did you wear to stay warm?
Well, the tent was heated, of course,
Okay.
but I can't remember if we had any special clothes. Whatever the Army gave you. I was a mechanic, and I took care of the grease and serviced them, and
Okay.
so I had my own little tool truck, or whatever you'd call it.
What kind of equipment were you working on?
Well, it'd be dozers and backhoes and tornadoes, they call them, scrapers, all kinds of heavy equipment. Very interesting for me.
What kind of friendships and camaraderie did you form while serving, and with whom? And do you stay in touch with anyone?
Well, I had one friend, the best friend I had. We went through basic together and all the way through England together. And then I had neighbors from Brunson and Hallock that I kind of knew before, and they were good friends.
Very nice. Okay. How did you stay in touch with family and friends while you were there?
I think I wrote my wife every day.
That's so sweet. Do you have those letters?
We got rid of them a little while ago.
Oh no!
We didn't know what I had written in them.
Yeah.
So we destroyed them, but they would have been just fine if the kids would have found them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so special. Okay. Did your wife write back to you then also?
Oh, yes. I don't know if you wrote as much as I did, but
Oh, I sure did.
I suppose you did, yeah.
So, but you used to get them in bunches.
Yeah. Thanks.
When you weren't doing your mechanical work, what did you do for recreation in England?
I played baseball and basketball. You know, some. It wasn't not a lot, I don't think.
Were you at the base? Like, was the sports there?
I think we yes, there was some gymnasiums there, and if I'm thinking of maybe a basic training though.
Okay.
I think we had to go somewhere when I was in England to play basketball, especially.
Okay. Did you play against people that lived in England?
I don't think so.
Was there any possibility of you being moved to the combat zone, or because of your mechanical skills, were you?
It didn't seem like it, because we were in for 2 years, but it didn't seem like they were ever going to do that to us, which I was pretty happy about.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you recall the day service ended? Where were you when you were told you could go home?
I was still in England.
Okay. From the time that you were told the service ended, and you got home, how much time was in between there? Did you have to wait a few weeks to get home after
Oh
that?
yes, I think so. We went home on some kind of a ship, so that took a while, and then I think I was in service a while in the state. Not very long though, I don't think.
How long did it take to get across the ocean on that ship?
I would say about 14 days, but I'm really not sure.
Yes. Where did you dock in the U.S.?
It was in New York.
When you got home, how were you received by your family and your community?
I think they were happy to see me. I can't remember. Maybe they were glad when I was gone.
How did you readjust to civilian life?
Well, I don't think that was very hard. I think I found some jobs then before I really got a decent job, So.
Okay. How did being in the service change you?
How did it what?
Change you? Do you think it changed you in any way?
Well, it didn't do any harm for me. I know that. And I think people who or young men who can't find their way or whatever you'd call it, I think the service would be good for them.
So did you continue any friendships after the service with
Yes,
people?
yes, I did, especially with just the one fellow.
What's his name?
Birch is the last name.
Okay. Okay.
What the heck?
Did you ever meet up with him after you got out?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did he live in Minnesota?
He lived in well, it was west of the cities,
Okay.
east of the cities. Pardon me.
Okay.
Yeah, then I went to his wedding. I don't remember that.
So did being in the service affect the way you relate to others? I mean, like you said, it can kind of straighten some people out.
Yeah.
Do you think it changed you in any way, or affected the way that you acted around other people?
I don't think so.
Did you join a veterans organization?
Yes, the Legion. The
Okay.
Legion, yes.
Okay. And then, other than your friend that you kept in touch with, do you attend any other reunions or anything like that?
No.
Okay. What are some life lessons you learned from your military service?
Well, I guess to take orders and do what you have to do.
How has your military service impacted your feelings about war and the military in general?
Wow. I don't know. Well, you gotta really give credit to these guard people who go wherever they are told to go. That's gotta be pretty tough.
What message would you like to leave for future generations who will hear this interview? Do you have any specific message to?
Remember, they're laying their lives on the, you know, every day they're in danger when they're in combat, especially. So it's not an easy life, that's for sure.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell me about your experience that?
I don't know. It's just it did me so good, except for being lonesome. You know, it didn't do me any harm at all because it was you had to do it. And I know some guys were so against it. You know, even in basic training, it was they made it so tough for themselves. You know, and that was unnecessary.
What do you wish more people knew about veterans?
What they've gone through, I guess. And now for me, you know, I didn't do anything spectacular, so it was easy for me. But some of them, you know, they never get over it. And I've had relatives, you know, some relatives, brother-in-law, a couple of brother-in-laws. They were changed. I know they were.